Good evening, everybody. Welcome to our first stream that we've done in what I think is like 7 or 8 months, according to the YouTube live panel that I've got in front of me here. So it's been a little while since we've last seen you. I hope that everyone's doing well. Hope you're all safe and all that kind of thing. It's been a long time since we last did a stream. It's been a while, I think, now, since we've really talked about what we're doing with EZ2. The last sort of time we sort of released anything was just a couple of months ago now, talking about a new character, the Miscreant Agent. So we'll talk about all of that tonight. We got some pretty cool stuff. We got some brand new gameplay to show you. We're going to talk about what we've been doing first, though, before we get into the gameplay. And after the gameplay, we're going to go ahead with a Q&A. So I hope that's all right. I apologise if my mic sounds static. Hopefully that'll clear up. So what we're going to do right now, I'm going to just basically hop into Discord. We're going to get our developers in. We've got a couple of people, quite a few of us actually here tonight. Say hello, guys. How you doing?
Hey!
Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
So we got... I'll run through tonight. We'll do it differently. We got 1UpD with us. We got Blixabon, CW, Sioncia, and Trivy.
Yeah.
And
Hello.
we're all here. So basically, we want to talk about what we've been doing because we haven't spoken publicly really like this for 8 months. That was the last time we did a stream, which is a little bit crazy. There's just so much stuff that I can think of that we've done. Some of it we can't talk about, obviously, because spoilers. But I guess what we'll do is we'll start at alpha testing, because the last time we really sort of spoke public, I think the last big announcement I made was that we were starting our alpha testing, which was like an internal thing. It was all privately done and everything. We've had several testers play EZ2. We've got a load of feedback. We're still doing that, I think. We're sort of, at the minute, we're sort of in between builds, so we're sort of waiting to get more testers on board, probably next year, because we've just come to the end of a kind of like a sprint thing. 1UpD probably be better at explaining the kind of quasi, what's it called?
Agile?
Yeah, that's the one. We've kind of been doing this quasi-agile kind of approach to development recently, seeing as we've sort of generated all the maps and stuff that we wanted to do. We've been doing a whole bunch of other stuff as well. So we basically looked at narrative. We've sort of changed a few things story-wise. We've tweaked the entire swaths of dialogue throughout the entire game, and we've had like 2 meetings about that now. And I think we're in a better place with that. There's just so much to go through. So before I like drill into all the nitty-gritty details, do you guys want to say hello? I know I said your names, but do you want to like say hello, say what you do? You know, we do this every stream. Do you just want to...
People forget otherwise.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sure. It helps identify voices with who's talking. So I'm 1UpD. I'm one of the programmers for Entropy02, and I do other stuff too. We all kind of help out with all the different areas, but I'm one of the programmers.
I'm Blixabon. I'm pretty much the same thing that 1UP said.
I'm CW3D. I do sound design and voice acting for Wilson, a bit of music stuff for HP0.
Hi, I'm Sioncia. I'm the view model animator, and I handle all the weapons in the game, the animations and stuff.
And I'm Trivy, and I'm the voice of Bad Cop, if you can believe it.
Yeah, if you can believe it. I like that little addition there. Yeah, so we've been like doing so much. We haven't spoken in ages. I think the last thing we did was Miscreant Agent, which is cool. We could talk about him. He's not on our... I just realised that he's not in our little plan for the stream. But we could talk about him without spoiling too much.
What is that to say?
I mean, he's a character that's been in the game... I'll get it out of the way now. He's a character that's been in the game for a long time, and we decided over October maybe we should, bring him to light, so show him off a little bit. not going to talk about his motivations or anything like that, but it was interesting to sort of get that out there. It'd be interesting to gauge public reaction to that and to see what it's like having another elite in the game. I'm really excited for players to meet him properly. Really excited. Hopefully that'll, it'll be awesome, I think. It's kind of like hard.
Yeah, not the rest of the game, just him. Just him.
Just
the rest
him.
of the game,
I'm
go away.
Yeah,
Or just-
exactly.
Fuck whatever's happening elsewhere. It's all about.
It's all
discredit
about
agent.
that agent guy and what he's after. Yeah, I think that was really cool, and I really like the way that Trivia and I worked together to produce that teaser, like Trivia doing the screenplay and like me developing
Yeah,
it. and,
because
like,
I forgot why. I was like away or something. I didn't have access to my computer. I was like, shit, I'll write you a thing.
Yep. But that was cool. So anyway, so he's a character that's been in the game for ages, and we only told you about it like the other day. So yeah, there you go. So yeah. Anyhow, what else have we been doing? So alpha testing. Again, I don't want to name names. I don't know what your guys' thoughts on that. I don't think we should name anybody that's tested alpha because it's been done privately for a reason. But so far, I would say it's been going pretty good. We've managed to capture an absolute ton of things that we need to sort of, that we have been tweaking and fixing over the last 8 months. Would you guys say?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think it's been.
The feedback has been so enlightening. It's really great to listen to people talk about it because it gives us kind of a fresh perspective. We've been so in it for so long. It helps to kind of step back and hear what someone else's fresh perspective is.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
And this is like, compared to the testing that I did by myself for HP01, this is a completely different realm. Like the way that we're handling all the data and just the way that we're doing it, like getting the feedback and changing the game to sort of, fixing the game, I'll say, and the things that have been highlighted. I think for me, I've learned a lot throughout this whole development process, but it's at the minute with the alpha feedback that I'm really learning things like player direction and stuff like that. Like there's stuff that I'm going to go forward with now, and we're never going to be able to forget it because of the stuff that we've seen in our testers and like watching testers play and stuff. So it's been really, really useful, I think, for all of us. It's been great. I think we're going to continue that for a while, aren't we? We're going to carry on doing these private alpha tests, I think is the plan for a little while. We're not quite at beta yet, I don't think.
Well, watching people play with commentary is like crack to us. It's like, I don't know why.
Yeah.
It's like it's what we live for as when we make these games. Or like we want to see people playing them and what their reaction is to them. That's the friggin' fuel,
That
really.
is- yeah, absolutely. I totally agree with that. It's so interesting seeing how... And that's the other thing as well. It's not frustrating, but it's like... when as a developer and a designer, you sort of build an area or you build a map and you have an idea of where you think the player's going to go, and then you watch your testers do completely the opposite thing and like go places you didn't think that they would go and do things you were like, oh, they're never going to do that, so you really have to consider everything when you're developing and you're designing. It's easy to sort of adopt a bit of tunnel vision from our position, I think, when we're designing these things. So it's been really
Of course,
useful.
we very much thank our private playtesters for sacrificing their potential experience of the game
Absolutely.
by testing
Oh,
early
totally.
versions of it, because obviously the story and the gameplay and everything is not going to be as polished as it would be if you were to just play it on the final release. So you are sort of playing a not as squeaky clean version of the game as you would do if you just
Yeah,
didn't play it and released it. So we thank them for their sacrifice.
absolutely. Yeah, the build is the alpha builds that we have are very much not finished, so it's not like playing a nice shiny game. It's playing a game with bits that are still under construction and lines not recorded and things like that, and writing where we're like, we might change that. Like I don't know, like so it's still a little crazy, but absolutely we thank them for their what they've done for us in testing it. So I think we're going to be rolling with alpha testing still for a little while. I think when we sort of started with alpha testing, we thought that maybe we'd be done with it by the end of the year, or optimistically we kind of thought, oh, we should have all the feedback that we need by then to put it together and like make a beta or whatever. But with the nature of these things, you know, we've decided that we're just going to keep on because it's just doing the game so much good. The way that we're working at the minute with this quasi-agile approach and the feedback that we're getting from our testers is just working really well. It's doing the game a lot of good. So we're going to carry on doing that.
Huge decisions, haven't we? We made some pretty huge decisions based on this feedback. Stuff that we thought was like, yeah, that's all right, that's locked in. And we're now starting to change things that we didn't think we were going to change.
That's right. That's right, absolutely. And it's amazing, really, because it's becoming its own thing. It's like where we were 8 months ago is completely different to where we are now. Like it's a different. I want to say it's a different game, but it's not completely different, obviously. But there are certain elements of the game that were completely different 8 months ago than they are now. So, and some of the things are like little things, like the kick is now faster and snappier. Which is cool. I think that's actually a really good change. But at first, I was like, oh, no, the kick needs to be slow because we don't want players to abuse it, But we found through testing and playing and everything that it needs to be faster, and in fact, it's better faster. So, just goes to show.
Cooldown. So it's not like you can just run around hopping on one foot going, kick,
That's right. It's just
Street
about
Fighter.
finding that balance. But you can do... Well, Trivia, you were saying you were, like, executing flying kicks the other day.
Yes, it's a lot easier to do flying kicks now because it's instant feedback rather than having to sort of weirdly time it.
Amazing. But go on, one up. What were you going to say?
It does feel like a different game, and it's interesting because if you look at it structurally, it's not that much different, right? Like the maps, the chapters aren't overall that much different than they were 8 months ago, but sometimes the smallest changes have enormous impacts, and I'm finding that more and more the further we get into the tweaking stage, just how much we can do with a small change.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the thing.
For the better, though, I think.
Yeah. It's kind of like, so one of the things that we've been doing when we're doing these tests is, and these mini sprints that we're doing, is that we sort of lock down big chunks of the game and we say we're not going to touch those maps or those chapters because we have to be careful about making these changes now. A small change like that in regards to the kick, because that's prominent throughout the entire game, if we change that and screw that up, then you have the potential to break something in the rest of the game that you're not going to notice until you test it, the whole thing later on. So we have to be really careful about making these kind of changes. That's been a big lesson for me. I mean,
absolutely.
And that goes not just for gameplay as well. That's like narrative as well. Like you change something in the story, you have to consider your entire story to account for that one change, And what does that mean? Do you have to change any scenes, etc.? So it's been a lot of that. It's been a lot of work. But it's been worth
By the way, the build is still broken.
Oh, Christ, we need to fix that. What is it? Is it that transition still? It's that transition.
It's the transition. That transition doesn't work. We got to fix that before we package up the next one.
Don't let me forget. We'll sort it out.
Speaking of going back to the kick again, we now, of course, have a lovely new animation for the kick.
We do.
From and I for reference, because he was doing it, I was like, no, it's not. It's not quite right. It's not quite right. So at like midnight or 1 o'clock in the morning, I was filming myself in my bedroom kicking the air from like a first-person perspective to use as like reference. And I have to say, I think the kick animation is now absolutely perfect.
Yeah, I think it's brilliant. It's really
it was
good.
such a pain to get that working. It would just cut off in the middle of the animation and disappear for no reason. And then I just did something slightly differently, and it somehow instantly worked.
I'm confused how it even, like, originally the frames weren't even lining up in game. There was something really wonky going on with the model where like the sequence wasn't playing right, but now it is.
Oh man!
Does that count as motion capture, by the way? If you film yourself on your phone kicking?
I was going to ask
That's
that.
just reference.
Oh, okay.
If it was like mocap, it's
Motion
like
reference.
Trivy is the voice, and now he is the leg and the foot. Bad cop.
My body parts are slowly turning into bad cops.
That's right. We're sort of converting you, like, slowly. Transhumanization,
Next, it'll be hand movements for view model animations.
Yeah, he's just gonna replace me.
Just do it with yourself, Trivy. Just... So the changes that we've been making range from small things like, I say small thing, you know what I mean, like a kick, like a gameplay element, like kicking has changed, and all the way up to we've now added a new chapter at the start of the game called Chapter 0, which is has taken up basically the last 2 months of. But that's been like the biggest thing that we've been doing over the last 2 months, is designing this new chapter called Chapter 0. It acts as like a prologue, so it's like before the game, and it gives you some context into the story of Entropy 02, Bad Cops Past. I'm not going to say anything about it, I'm just going to say that. It's just basically a setup for the story. We kind of felt like the intro that we had was good, but we really needed something else, a bit more substance, you know, to sort of lead players into the story so they really get the context behind his actions in the game. Oh, thought I explained
It
that well.
also forced us to work on a bit of tech that we were planning on having anyway, but Chapter 0 sort of put a spotlight on it, being that, you know, we needed to make sure the kick worked for the prologue and a whole bunch of other stuff. You know what I mean?
Yes, yeah, because I don't know what you want to say. Well, I guess I do have some screenshots of Chapter 0 that I can cycle. Hang on, where is it?
I was wondering, would you like to talk to like the feedback that kind of inspired the whole Chapter 0 effort? Because I think it kind of makes more sense if we talk about why it happened. Really, it was. Can I go ahead?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm just going to put some screenshots on of random things.
There was sort of a brief flashback at the end of Chapter 1. I don't think that's news. I think that's always kind of been in the game. I think that's been in live streams before talked about, right?
Yes, yeah.
There was a flashback sequence at the end of Chapter 1 that's changed a lot over development. I mean, how many different versions of that have you made overall? There's a bunch of them. But the most recent one, when we were testing, really players didn't seem to get a lot out of it. Like, they didn't seem to really understand what was being communicated there. They would play it and they'd just be sort of confused, or, you know, they would ask questions, but they wouldn't really follow up on it. It just seemed like it wasn't working at what it was supposed to do. But so Breadman started working on expanding it, making it more communicative of like what it was supposed to say. But that's sort of when you realized, right, that it would actually make more sense at the beginning of the game before the story has started.
Yeah, pretty much that. Like, I just think it, from a storytelling point of view, it made sense to have that as the true beginning. So you'd have like the beginning as like the prologue, or what is now Chapter 0, rather than having that halfway through Chapter 1. I don't know, it just felt dissonant. And we were taking players out of the sort of Entropy 02 narrative to show them the history and the past and stuff like that. But when I played through the game like that, to me it just felt like I was being pulled out of the narrative. There was no context to it. I was sort of getting all like, why am I here again? You know. So yeah, we've decided to do that, and it's coming along really well. I think what we've achieved in 2 months has been amazing with this. For what it is, it's really cool. Like, we've got lots of choreo in here, cops and everything. You know, it's great. I really like what we've done with it. Maybe we'll show it off one day. Won't show it off just yet.
Yeah.
Just in case. There are pretty spoilery things in there about Bad Cops Past that we probably don't want aired until, you know, the game releases. So yeah, it's really cool. Very different. I actually played through it yesterday and I got some Entropy 01 vibes from it. So I guess, you know, we're on the right track. So that's been cool. That's been a big change that's sort of come about as part of this alpha testing stuff. I think it's probably, we want to get these bigger changes in now before we go beta, because when we go beta we kind of want to be more restrictive, as you know, when we're adding things we might want to lock things down. Definitely
more time for fixing and polishing and bug busting than adding new gameplay features and story elements and stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. We want to basically, before we say okay we're beta, there's a bunch of stuff we've got a laundry list of things we need before we reach that point. But as well as that, we need to be happy with the game and the story that it tells, because there won't be any really room to sort of go in and be like, oh, we need to add another chapter, or we need to pull this chapter apart. Like, we're going to have to live with it and make it work. So we need to be happy before we go into beta, basically. It's what I'm saying. So it might be a little while. we got things going on still in regards to that. What else have we done? Also, all sorts. We did a bunch of dialogue changes, so I'll touch on this briefly. Our playtesters, as much as they enjoyed Entropy Zero 2, there have been some lines that they weren't happy with, and to be frank with you, Backup as a character, since this whole alpha testing process began, as a character he has, how do I explain this? He's matured a bit as a character, not as in he has grown up, as in the design and the writing of the character has matured. And we've kind of decided that there are things that he wouldn't say or things that he would do are now out of character because of the changes that we've been making. So there has been a lot of dialogue that we've changed, a lot of responses that we've sort of swapped out, removed, or changed to sort of cater to that, tonal balancing. That's what we called it. I was trying to remember what we called it. Tonal balancing. So basically, to sort of get the tone right, we sort of tweak dialogue here and there to sort of give it a bit more of a consistent tone throughout the game, which is good. I think that has actually done wonders for the character and for the game. I don't know about you guys, but I think it's done,
Oh, absolutely. I mean, he's always, from the beginning, when we started writing like his response lines and deciding that he was going to talk throughout and comment on his kills and blah blah blah, we always sort of went with a, he's had that bit of edge with him the entire time, and it went overboard in quite a few areas. So the fact that we've sort of reined that back, so he's not, as I said, so Shadow the Hedge Cop anymore. So it's now more like a real, character rather than, oh, I'm so dark and death, blood and blood.
Yeah, I think when
short chilling blood.
Exactly. Like when we had that meeting, we sort of went through every single line that he says in the game, and we basically piled up a list of all the lines that we thought were bad. And after reading through that list, it's like, oh my god, I'm so glad we're cutting most of these, because some of them are so edgy, and we want to be tactful. We're not going to be bloody, like Trevi said, we don't want to be like Shadow the Edge Cop. So yeah,
we're focusing more on expanding the number. I think we talked about how it's generally better to focus on specific context, which, we were like, wow, we acknowledged that part of the game, instead of like just a bunch of different lines for one thing. I think that was the general conclusion we got from that.
Absolutely. I mean, it's easy for us to kind of dump in response system lines, to make him say something for like every single kill, but it's a lot more satisfying if we have it tailored specifically to when you perform a specific action, he responds based on that action. So in the meeting, we tweaked a few of his lines to make them more specific to a certain purpose, so it would fit the situation better. That's kind of what you're talking about, right? Sorry, I kind of...
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's also... I was just going to say, it's also a lot more fun, because like the system that's used for it is really flexible and allows you to do stuff based off of all kinds of things. That's probably getting more into programming territory. The point is having more context is probably more fun anyway.
I mean, it's worth mentioning as well, 'cause just reading the chat, he's still not a nice guy. Just because we've sort of removed the really edgy, what we think inappropriate stuff from his dialogue, doesn't mean he's not going to be suddenly like, oh, sorry, did I shoot you? Oh, no. He's still very much a disturbed guy. He's a violent dude, and his humor is still very sort of dark, but he's just not... as I said, too over-the-top edgy, but he still has that little bit of edge to him. It's just more tasteful now rather than being over-the-top.
Yeah, it's like we have his character is a lot more nailed down and tailored to more more specific kinds of responses. So, we're just nailing down his character a bit more and making it more realistic.
Yeah, I'd say that the writing of his character is what has matured. So before it was like he was this crazy guy who just liked killing people, and that's all, at the start of the project, that was like the little placard we had. Backup is crazy and he likes killing people, and he's working for the Combine. And now it's like he's got this backstory. He's doing it for, he has his motivations and his reasons for why he's doing it, which is why he's a protagonist. And it's like he's not just like he's not like obsessed with killing people and death because it's funny or he likes it. He has reasons, why he's doing it. He sees it as a means to an end rather than, oh, that was funny, I just killed a guy. Like, he can find sarcasm and, I think he finds humor in it because he can't relate to the suffering that he inflicts, which was one of the things that we sort of spoke about when we sort of sat down and dug into him as a character. He can't relate to anything, so he just sort of makes light of it and tells jokes and stuff.
Yeah,
but it's
still very much. He's still very much, to some degree, a psychopath in a way. Obviously, you can't not be a psychopath to do what he does. He's just not Jared Leto's Joker.
Yeah.
About it anymore.
Thank God. Yeah, I mean, there were just things that he would say that were not only were they completely out of character. I think some of them were cheap jokes. Some of them like toilet humor, which is like he's not going to say. We literally labeled
one of them the pee pants joke.
Pee pants joke, exactly that.
That's hilarious.
And we had a good laugh about it when we talked about it, but it's not Bad Cop. It's not his character that we know. We've done the character analysis. It's not him. He's not going to break out a pee pants joke. He's going to say,
I wish that was a hypothetical that you were using.
Yes, I know.
and not a recorded line that was cut.
Yeah, I know. But that's how far we've come with our writing. Like, it's kind of, I think that's how I've been writing with this whole thing. I think the way it's gone is that, like, we get it wrong a couple of times and then we figure out what we're doing, and then we correct it. But,
yeah. And now there are cum jokes instead.
Oh, God. What? No.
Yes.
No.
You've really stepped up that
game.
Yeah.
No, we cut those too.
Yes. Thank God.
The thing is, they weren't written as those. It's just that other people twisted them as such. Coming from a person who wrote them, not realizing that they could be twisted as those.
Yeah. I think some of them were like, the way that they were written were not, we just hadn't got the characterization right, basically. And after doing the analysis of the character, we're on the right track now. So that's been fun. That's changed the feel of the game a bit. Tonally, it's a lot more consistent now. Though if you do bring Wilson with you, you'll still have that humour. Which is, we've still got a lot of work to do in regards to Wilson. What else? Yeah. What else do we do? We've done so much. There's just so much stuff. So there's been like I detail past a map, C52A, I think it is, C52A, and I'll be playing that shortly, and you guys will get to see it. We changed up zombie gaunts a little bit. You can see some pictures of them now. We've got a brand new shotgun animations and stuff to show off as well, which is cool. So yeah, it's all going on. We've been really busy. We just haven't streamed, I think, because of we've just been stuck in it, really, haven't we? With alpha and everything.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I think a lot of what we've covered kind of focuses on just the past couple of months because that's what's fresh in our memory. It's hard to kind of cover the entire 8 months or so since the last stream because we've done so many different things. And yeah, it's like you said, we've just been.
Like, have we even said that EZ2 is completable start to end?
Yep, that was in the oh boy, Breadman, you did a video about that, right?
I did. That was when we were going to go to alpha.
When did you publish that?
A while ago. Wasn't that in? Hang on, that wasn't October, was it? No, that was before. That was September, maybe. Didn't we go?
Milestone update 4 months ago.
4 months ago.
Looks like July.
July-ish.
Wait,
just before August, wasn't it? Wasn't it August 1st that we did our first alpha testing? August 1st?
I mean, it was indeed technically true that you can play Entry 02 from start to finish that far back. But we have made such big changes in that meantime that it has, let's be honest, set us back a bit on our sort of. I mean, we didn't say it out loud, but we had our sort of little internal deadlines. Like, we had an expectation of when we thought Entry 02 was going to be complete, and that has been set back a bit due to how much stuff we sort of had to change on, quite large chunks of the game. Like Chapter 0 was never going to be a thing.
That's right.
And that would have set us back quite a bit, having to make that and record stuff for that and choreography and blah blah blah. And there's even more stuff that we haven't even talked about in quite a while that we're going to be changing.
I mean, I've just thought of something that we spent 3 months on, but I can't say anything about it. But basically, we worked on the last chapter for like 3 months straight.
Oh yeah.
Doing some work with the finale and getting all of that, and that was cool. Working on that was fun, but that took a long time, and it's still, we still got things to do with that before I think it's ready for beta, and that took up a long time.
We put months into that, working on the gameplay in Chapter 6. I think it's safe to say that much.
Yes. Yeah. I know what you're talking about.
It's exactly like you said. Like, there's still more to be done yet. I mean, hopefully, I think we've done the most of it.
I think so. I think we have for that chapter.
Most of the changes you want to do are more narrative, less with the gameplay now.
That's it. And those changes are deliberately being written and designed to be easy to implement at this point, after all the work that we've done on that. It's like one of those things I wish I could just blab for hours about that work, but we can't say anything about it.
Right.
Because that was so cool. One day we can. In the developer commentary.
Yeah.
We could go all in on the code and everything. Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah.
While we're talking about, like, how much stuff we've done and how much is yet to be done, I just keep thinking about our list of bugs that we have, our issue tracker. I haven't even looked at it in a while because we've been so focused on Chapter 0. It frightens me because we've captured so many issues and bugs, yet to be resolved.
That's the thing, isn't it?
So there's kind of a long road ahead of us, in spite of all the progress we've made.
There is still a long road ahead, I think. And really what Alpha's done, I think when we started doing our Alpha sprints, we thought, we'll use that to, like, fix bugs. But really, we've just been like, oh, okay, we'll change the narrative. We'll do a character analysis and change the dialogue a little bit. We'll, like, tweak this, like, because it sort of brought all of this stuff out the woodwork. I think, I hope beta is going to be the better place to do all the bug fixing, because at least then we know what our boundaries are. Like, we can't insert a new chapter, we can't change this, but we'll see.
So basically, Christmas 2021.
Oh god. It's a weird feeling because we spent so long on it. I don't want to rush it out the door, but I'm so eager.
We don't want to cyberpunk it, do we?
Sorry, I missed that.
We don't want to cyberpunk it, do we?
No, we don't want to cyberpunk it. Exactly that.
I could just see that happening. Like if with a schedule like ours, if we tried to just like cram the rest of all the bug fixes into a few months, it would be a cyberpunk situation. One of those bad launches.
I think we just have to accept that it's going to take more time. That's,
What about the shareholders, man? What about our shareholders?
Yeah, all the shareholders, the publishers. What are we going to tell EA? Like, Christ.
Fuck, dude. I can't deal with this. I'm out of here.
Oh, shit, no, we lost CW. Shit.
Remember being published.
He's gone. Published. He's back. They let you back, did they?
Yeah. Look, we just had a quick talk. It's all good. Nothing to worry about.
I guess it's good that we don't have publishers or anything like that. Just praying that we haven't got any like publishers listening or anything.
If we had publishers, we'd be doing a lot more than agile stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. So, do you know what? I still get asked every single day in some form. It's either on Facebook, Steam, YouTube, Twitter. Somebody's asking me, or Discord. Somebody's asking me when's the game going to come out. Or on that now, the new thing is on Mod Database. people asking me, can I please upload the mod? I'm like, it's not finished yet.
You won't like it. I mean, if you uploaded it right now, it wouldn't even be
Exactly.
playable because of the game-breaking bug I told you about earlier.
Exactly right. The game doesn't even play currently. Doesn't
Like
need to fix something.
subtitles with no dialogue.
Yeah, exactly. Just it's like, come on, man. Fuck, we've been doing it for 2.5, 3 years now. Let me finish it. I'm not just gonna roll over and upload it. Anyway, yeah. So that's funny. It's probably gonna be a while. So, shall we show off some gameplay then?
Yes, what the people came here to see.
Let me
I think it's about time.
let me have a look.
Do you know where you're going to start from?
I was just gonna do. I was gonna go through C52A. Just go through the whole thing.
Make sure you have that convar toggled that we mentioned, the setting.
Let me do that now. I did toggle that earlier, but I'm gonna make sure.
Can we just be clear
There
that
we
it's
go.
not alpha 4.1.2?
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Did you put 4.1.2 instead of
I should have put
1.4.2?
1.4.2. You can tell, like I do this shit when I've either just woken up or when I'm about to go to bed. It's a big alpha, right? Anyway, Christ. Yeah. So C52A, right? Let's do this. I'll just
I didn't
play.
even notice before that it was saying 4.1.2
It's just
on the
knackered.
menu.
It's just knackered.
I didn't notice either.
Yeah, you can tell.
Wait a
that,
minute. That's a texture, right? How
Yeah.
did you get as far as like baking the texture and inserting it into the game without realizing
I
that it
was
was
half
4.1.2?
Half asleep. Fire and forget, baby. I
never really paid that much attention to the really complex nomenclature. I just saw 4 and it went, okay, so that's a new version.
I
right.
instantly knew something was wrong. We can't go from fucking.
I know
version-
1 point. We've been working really hard. Right. I'm just gonna hop in. I'll mute my mic so that you don't hear me like breathing.
Are we supposed to all mute, or do you
Well,
want us
I
to?
can silence everything and then we'll come back afterwards.
Sounds good.
Yep. Here I go.
Yeah,
It's
I'm just
Fulbright,
worry-based.
guys.
Oh, fucking
Why is
broken.
it fucking Fulbright?
Broken.
No, that's how it's
Oh
supposed
my
to look.
god, it's not
You didn't
compiled. Oh,
you didn't put in the new-
shit.
You
What
didn't put in the new map? Are you kidding?
Did you upload it?
I thought that you said you would fix it.
Oh, it's
Oh no!
oh, you can't make it up.
That's how competent we are as a team, guys.
This
Hey
is
guys,
oh
welcome to
shit.
NP
Right.
4.1.2.
Yeah, so like we encountered this, and I reported it to Breadman. He said he would fix it, and here we are.
Did you not rehearse this beforehand, Breadman?
Oh,
Did you not load up the map?
How long does
before-
it take you to compile?
not long. I'll just compile it now. Oh my
Okay.
god. Let's just compile it.
What's the topic to talk about whilst you compile?
Hey,
Oh,
compile
you
stuff.
can't
Drag it up
make
for
it
just
up.
a second. I'll be right back.
Right, I will compile it right now. I can't believe that. Oh, fuck.
I want to make sure that this is actually what happened, and I wasn't expected to compile it.
Nah, it's alright. I can't. It was a little while ago.
Shall we answer some questions whilst this compiles? and then have another Q&A at the end.
Yeah, you could do that. We could do that. I'm just going to literally hit compile on this, and then we'll be good for gameplay.
Oh, wow. Actually, this issue is exactly 1 month old. I reported it on November 29th.
Right.
Yeah, man, I'm so hard at work with this mod that it's, 1 month old bug.
Oh, that's dreadful. Mind you, we have just been basically in the guts of bloody Chapter 0.
Anyway, so yeah, if anybody has any questions that they want to see if we can get answered before the map compiles, go!
Yes, any questions?
And then once it's compiled, we'll hold questions until the end.
Won't
Medal
take
Matt, have the new iterations of the Combine Soldiers in Half-Life Alyx influenced your mod in any way?
I think.
No.
Well,
I don't think.
I don't think so.
Maybe
think
some of the narrative implications?
We've sort of considered things, things that they're saying and stuff like that. There are a couple of, like Blake said, narrative implications, but I think it's fairly small, isn't it? It's not like massive changes we've made in response to Alex.
We'll probably know more about that part.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, you're not going to be seeing any suppressors or anything like that.
Seems like the stream. Oh.
Oh, really?
It's a stream doid.
It's because you compile
Oh,
it.
yeah.
Oh,
CPU's going to be
it's
going.
nearly done. It's nearly done.
Fuck.
Oh, I can't believe that. Thing is, right. Thing is, right.
I remember because I discovered that, didn't I? Didn't I load it up? And I was like,
Yeah, I looked up there and it
alright.
was you, not me. Yeah, it was
I'm like,
you found that and I confirmed it and I investigated it and reported to Brad and Brad said he would have a look at that.
Yeah, I've been quite distracted recently with everything. Usual shit. I can't believe that. Oh well, we'll get it. It's nearly done now.
For the record, that kind of issue does not usually happen. The Bretman forgetting something part does.
That
but
happens a lot.
not-
But
yeah.
yeah, it's nearly there. Oh, I'm so annoyed at myself. I can't believe that.
tut, always rehearse before.
I thought I opened the map the other day though. Maybe I did the wrong map. I must have gone into the wrong bloody map. That would be another Breadman thing to do.
You probably loaded up C5-2 instead of 2A.
Yeah, it's 2A. Yeah.
Or another 2A.
Oh, I'm back. By the way, you've also got to recompile Chapter 0 Map 1 at some point, because made a couple changes the other day.
Oh, that's fine. I'll do that later on. No worries. Right, I think it's actually going to load the game now.
Are you gonna
Yeah.
be building Q maps too? I don't think you have to.
Sorry, what did you say?
I was gonna say, are you gonna be building Q maps too? I don't think you'll need to.
I won't do QBs tonight.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Cube maps take longer than half a second for you guys.
Bloody Matt Fulbright. Oh, that really got me there. Right, okay. Look, we have sound and vision and lighting. Oh my god. I'm going to turn off developer. Let's just make sure that EZ2 spoilers enabled is 0.
Don't forget to change your window in OBS.
Yep, I'll do that.
Alright, here we go. Q&A time that we didn't even do over until
Yeah.
the end of the stream.
Just give the stream a second to catch up. Because I think stream is behind now.
There's some things in this we haven't shown much.
Yeah, I don't think we've... I think we... Have we shown pictures of this map off previously?
I don't remember. I
Thought there were
streamed
some.
making this map in its original form, but I don't know about after your changes.
Right. Well, I think the stream is slowly catching up now.
Yeah.
What do we think? Does it look a lot faster for you guys now? I mean,
It's running fine, so I just go for it.
right, okay, so here we go again. Take 2. This is gameplay HB02. Chapter 5, map 2A. I will mute myself again so you don't hear me breathing or complaining about map Fulbright.
Preparing to dispense product. Target lost. Shutting down.
Hurry up!
You want just telling this to me now? Looks like they don't want us knowing what they were doing here. I'm jumping away from that one. What do I have that the song means? Die, parasite! Girl! Where the hell did she go? What is this stuff?
We've got something. Okay, it's human. Hello?
Hello?
Oh shit!
This is where he's been hiding. At least you guys are on time for once. Come on. Get back here. Suck on me. Move there. Throwing on me.
I'm going to stop right there.
Poor person in chat thinks this is chapter 6.
That's where I'm going to stop. It's pretty cool, huh?
It's just chapter 5.
Did you like how I bloody murdered myself on the trip mines? Did you guys see that yet?
Yes.
Why did I take a risk with them?
You're like, oh yeah, I'm gonna appear super cool on the stream by
I thought
dodging these lasers.
I'm gonna crouch jump through them and like it'll be great. And yeah, of course, yeah, fucking blew myself up. There's something about that map. It's one of my favorite maps in EZ2. It just
I'm really happy about that.
yeah, it's really good. I love
You
it.
didn't make it.
I know. Oh, it's good. It's a cool map. I love it. Especially the bit with Mossman when she's like, oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, that scene, the idea for that scene has been in here for like a year, or no, like 2 years almost.
Yeah, it's been in here a while, hasn't it?
I like the Zen grenade scene. That was my favorite part.
Yeah, with the mines. Yeah.
Yeah, just watching the way you watched the bull squid ragdoll. You were transfixed.
I was kind of like,
is it gonna inhale the bull squid, or shall it simply toss it away?
exactly. It was like a science experiment. I wanted to know what was going to happen. I kind of thought, part of me thought it would do that thing like where the barnacles eat things, and it would just sort of like go through the ceiling, and just eat it. But yeah. Yeah, it's great. It's really, really good fun, that map. So
Yeah, sort of saying that the maybe the hitbox for those wall turrets need to be adjusted.
couldn't bloody kill that last one.
Yeah, the hitboxes need to be adjusted. You were shooting at too low. The head of it
Right.
is quite fully in the bounding box of a model.
Yeah, that was really fun playing that. Good fun, and I love the shotgun. I kind of I was utilising the squad commands a bit more this time as well. Sort of trying to send them first, like down the corridors and stuff. It was really fun. So I hope viewers like that, because that's one of my favourite maps, I think. I don't know if is there anything else I can show. We always end up saying this. Is there anything else I can show off? Do you think?
I was wondering about that because I feel like more gameplay is warranted because this is the first time we've streamed in forever. But we've shown so much of the game already, and there's a lot of maps that you don't want to show.
I know.
You could probably do the cabin fight. I'm trying. Oh, maybe not. Nope.
I was just thinking that, but the thing
Maybe
is,
No.
there is C5 free, although there is like one room to the side which has a spoiler in it. But if you could avoid that, it like maybe the first part
the
of it.
Zombigaunt stuff. You mean is that C5?
No.
Yeah. Oh no, C5 3. Duh.
You could do C4-3, but I feel like that map has already been.
We've shown
like
that.
The new stuff you probably want to leave
Yeah.
unseen because the old version has already been shown so much. And you showed screenshots of that one.
I did. Yeah.
I mean, you could show off the new cabin fight. Just don't show the beginning part. So just play that bit. Don't show it on the stream, and then begin as you're approaching the cabin and play the cabin fight.
I could probably no clip to.
Would that mess up any scripting of anything?
I don't know if it would. I'm trying to think.
I feel like
I think the safer option would just just not show your screen while you play the first part.
Just the first part of that map.
C2 come again for the 50th time.
Yeah, you could do C2-2.
C2-2
I
again.
see that in
It's the most.
the comments.
It's up.
Yeah, I actually like that idea.
The thing is, that's a safe
How many
map.
times have you streamed
I've
that map?
streamed that map so many times. We can't do that. We can't
To be fair,
stream it again.
I mean, to be fair, people have been asking to see it again and see how it's aged.
What, C2-2? Really? It's the gameplay that's changed. I don't think much has been done with that. I'm trying to think.
It might be the least changed map that we have. I mean, is it any different the last time it was streamed? I think that was...
Because I'm pretty sure
Probably
that
not.
my lighting changes were shown. So, and that's the last thing that I remember being done to it.
Ooh, chapter 1. Or, well, I mean, like, I did all those wetness changes and stuff,
Oh yeah, so So if I just start at, well, we have to go through. I don't want. I want players to sit through the viewers to sit through the briefing.
Yeah, it's a good point. You could
skip
start
to
at
map 2.
yes, map 2 that
Right.
has
So you've
yeah,
applied
like
the new
that's-
wetness stuff, haven't you? Yes.
that
Um,
like
You should.
So-
You should. I don't know if you like this idea or not, but I was gonna say you should let the chat kind of vote on it.
I know what they're going to vote on. They're going to vote on chapter 3.
No. I mean, out of those 3 options we discussed,
Okay.
not out of any map in the game.
But no, we're not giving them the fucking freedom to choose the map that we play next. Like,
Right. I just
Like,
mean out of the
forever.
3.
Not like totally. I mean, like
Yeah,
other
yeah,
ones.
yeah.
Chapter 1, map 2, Chapter 2,
Yeah,
map
yeah.
2, or Chapter 4, map
Whatever
4.
it is, the
I'm
cabin.
losing track.
Yeah, but I
The
could do-
cabin
yeah,
one.
Yeah.
C5-3 be in consideration.
C53.
I don't know, because you'd have to stop before it got to
Yeah.
more of the plot-centric
And the
parts.
thing is
but-
that map is so cool. Like I kind of want to, that's like that's where everything comes to a head. Like we won't show C53 yet.
Yes.
I mean, there are a couple of changes to C2. One, like we've made some changes with the dialogue, and some of the geometry has been edited a little bit. I don't know.
C21. What did we change on that one? I can't remember. That.
I mean,
It's been
there's
so
the
long.
door.
a little bit different now. The first cabin you enter is a little bit different now. I mean, it's only
Yeah.
tiny changes, but
You added a door.
Oh yeah, I did, didn't I? That other door. Yeah.
and the Bad Cop's line is different when he kicks down the door now. So that's pretty huge.
Is that implemented? I thought that was just
It's not implemented.
What was that? What? So
I don't remember.
Because, I mean, when he kicks down the door, people have been hearing for years now, surprise fuckers, time to die. And we've now changed that line to something else.
Have
Has
we
that
re-
been...
have we even recorded the changed line?
I don't know, actually.
I don't think we've even done that.
I should probably record that, shouldn't
You
I?
should probably record that and get
I'll
that
do
in.
it right now. You can fucking compile them.
Oh Christ! No, because then I have to do choreo.
Yeah, I
can't you?
know. I know.
Okay, all right.
Development stream.
How about let's do the cabin map, yeah? Because
Yeah.
that
Okay.
that got a rework. Like that looks different. And
It's pretty much a new map at this point. I
that's
mean,
right.
you-
It's a new map at the minute. What I will do is I will quickly, whilst we're talking, I will get myself to the bit that we need to be at in that map.
yeah.
Yep.
Just
So,
make sure it doesn't pop up on stream.
Yeah.
So whilst you're doing that, what did you get for Christmas, 1UpD?
what did I get?
Yeah.
Oh, this year is more practical things. It's just stuff for my apartment. And I got a Black Mesa mug.
Nice.
That's pretty cool.
Oh,
Yeah.
Odds and ends like that. I got some Black Mesa themed shirts and stuff too. Sounds boring, but it was what I asked for, so worked out pretty well. What did you get for Christmas, Trivy?
Me? Well, I got this sort of light thing that's supposed to help with, like seasonal affective disorder for people who live in fucking rainy countries like me.
Like England.
Sunlight. It's one of those lights that is supposed to sort of be like the light of God, and it goes into your eyes and makes you feel happy or some shit. I don't know. It seems pretty good.
Makes you feel happy.
And got a new electric toothbrush along with some other bits and bobs.
Well, that's very handy, isn't it? We
Have
all need
you
a good electric
tried
toothbrush.
the light? Does the light make you feel happy?
I have it on pretty much all the time unless it's like me trying to wind down for sleep. And I guess it does. The thing is, the 100% brightness setting on it is like so bright it's actually blinding. That's why I said like
Wow.
the light of God.
That's
The light of
You
God.
turn it on and oh Jesus, it's freaking so bright. So I have to put it down on like 30%, and even then that's fucking bright.
That's too much happiness.
You can't handle it.
So,
I
sorry to interrupt. In game, if you don't have the APC, it doesn't actually trigger that choreo. So we gotta fix that.
Yeah, I actually
Oh, yeah.
noticed, reported it. Fuck.
I was just gonna say that I got a mini fridge for Christmas, but I guess that's not relevant.
Oh no, that's cool. A mini fridge is cool.
That is cool.
You can put things in it. Like, what food have you got? Have you got anything in it at the minute? You got like beers.
I don't have beers in it, no, but
I would assume not.
One day. Right.
Soon.
I've put some stuff in it. I guess it's like
That's cool.
like someday it's maybe I'll set its entropy to 0.
Oh, very good.
Brilliant. Optimal. Okay, so I think I'm ready to show off the cabin changes. Just adjust my voice for this. Okay, everybody. So the cabin map got a visual rework. I can't remember why we did that. Why did we do that? Was it just that I didn't like it?
I think mostly you didn't like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't like it, so I redid it. Basically,
I'm trying to think of what the reasoning was.
I'm sure
there was a lot more to it than that.
That's right. Like, I'm sure there was an actual proper reason why we changed it. I think so. The entrance to that cave that happens at the end of the map that you'll see, that wasn't there before, was it? So maybe I had to change it.
Well, was your motivation? Sorry.
It flows a lot differently as well. Like before, I think there was like quite large areas of the map that you could just never see because they were purely optional.
That's right.
And now the way it's designed, you have to walk through everything before you get there, and you get to see the little.
That's
well,
it.
you'll see in the.
You'll see.
It is a lot better.
Yeah, I think it's much better now. Definitely.
I was going to ask, do you remember, were you motivated more by the visuals or by the gameplay? Because I feel like you either said, oh, this is ugly, or you had said something about maybe it was the enemies, maybe it was the items. I don't remember, but
it was a bit. It was a bit of both because at first enemies would only attack from the front of the cabin, so you could literally hide out the back. And also, I didn't like how it looked, so I did a lot of work to change that. So I'll just mute myself and everyone, and then we'll just go in and we'll play it, and then yeah, here we go. Gameplay again.
What do we have here? Whoa, fancy place. I could take a boat off for an hour or so. Rebels must be using this place. I bet they'll be back soon. 3650 to dispatch. Request reinforcements. Mark my grid. Reports possible hostiles inbound. Put yourself safe from contact. Copy that. Back to me. And here they come. I'm taking point. ride too. That could be my ticket out of here. Hold down the fort. $36.50 Overwatch. I found a way through. Proceeding. What is this stuff? It tingles.
I think I'm going to leave it there.
A standard because it's obviously
I'm back.
just been before. Oh, hello.
That was
My stream's
fun.
quite far behind.
Yeah, the stream's a little far behind there, I can see.
Yeah, I'm just watching the end of it now.
That was fun. I definitely like that map much better now than I did as it was before.
Yeah.
We were just sort of saying we need to scrape through the game for any game text, like placeholders,
Yes.
that I can to recording them as soon as possible.
We still got quite a few. Yeah, it's hard, isn't it?
So I think
Because
those.
Sorry, go on, Trevi.
So I think those should be priority for me. Anything that's like placeholder text at the moment that we know that we want to record, like that line about I like what I've done with the place. I'm pretty sure we've all agreed that's a great line.
That's right, yeah.
So we need to scrape through all the game text and be like, yep, that needs to be recorded. That needs to be recorded, and then I can actually have a laundry list that I need to do.
Yeah, I think the thing... Well, you're absolutely right, we need to do that. The issue with... well, it's not an issue, it's just something to bear in mind, is that we don't have any... Apart from digging into VCDs, as far as I know, we don't have any way of getting a laundry list of like where we've got that. My brain's just processing this. Where's 1UpD? Is 1UpD around?
I'm here.
You're here.
What do you need?
Just question, could we agent ransack the scenes
Oh, absolutely.
folder? Right, okay,
I was planning on doing that.
Right, okay, so we could get a laundry list then, technically, of all of the AI game text. Sorry, my cogs were turning.
No, it's okay.
Can we figure that
That's what I was just telling Trivia that we should do exactly that.
Right.
'Cause he was saying, well, we need to get all the placeholder lines recorded. We could use Agent Ransack and just search through all of the scenes and find every instance of game text.
Yeah,
and
that's
pull it out. It would
idea.
probably be a lot because there's some scenes that might not even be in the game, so we'd have to filter it a little bit and say, okay, well, that's not one that we're going to record, but that would at least give you a complete list of here is literally all of the placeholder text, and then we could filter it down from there.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that would be great
Okay.
because then, like Trevi said, basically we can be up to date on all of that kind of thing. So, yeah. Well, that was fun. I really
Q&A
enjoyed
time?
it. We should do that as soon as possible. Really. Well, maybe could that be a next sprint thing? Because we're end of the month now, aren't we?
I mean, Q&As and questions and
Oh,
answers
sorry.
time.
I thought you said could we do that anytime?
Oh, okay, that makes
Because you kind of came
That's
through
kind of
like
worth
broken
that.
up. I was like, I thought you said could we do that anytime, as in could we record those lines anytime? No, we should
Right now on the stream.
do it right now. Let's do it. Yeah. Okay, so should we do Q&A then? Are we done with gameplay for tonight?
Yeah. I think.
Or do you want to do Chapter 2, Map 2?
I mean, it's a nice finale. Like, it would be an interesting thing if, like, at the end of each stream, we just showed C22 as, like, a benchmark.
This is where the game is now. C22
Yes,
still exists.
A motif.
A
Of
motif.
Entropy 02.
It wouldn't be a stream without C22.
So I guess my question is for you is if we do Q&A, we'll probably wrap up sooner. Did you want to try to meet after to do some of our maybe end of sprint wrap up
Yeah, I think
type
that's
meeting,
probably a good idea.
or would you rather show some more gameplay? Because we haven't streamed in a long time. This is
I mean, what
momentous
about
stream.
What about the other map that I just realised that I did detail work for was your one 1UpD.
Oh, yeah.
C23.
You could do C22 and just roll it right into C23.
Yeah, that'd be a really good bit of gameplay, wouldn't it? Just like straight fucking chapter 2. But then I'll have to stop just short of something.
Yep.
And, okay, because I could roll into C24 as well, but I could stop.
You probably don't want to. Well,
should I stop
up to you.
just before the cafeteria? Because
I would stop. Yeah, I mean, go for it.
What do we see?
It's up to you. I would say stop at the end of C23, but you know, that's your call.
All right, we'll see how it goes. Okay, so more gameplay. God, these guys are lucky tonight. I will just. Should I have you guys in for this one, or is the stream going to be?
I mean, the stream is
It's
so
gonna
far
be a long
behind.
one.
I think. I mean, it would be nice, but the stream is so far behind that it's like our comments will be 6 to 7 seconds behind, if not more.
What do you reckon?
Yeah.
Right. So I'll meet you guys then. Yeah.
Okay, that's fine.
We'll talk about it afterwards.
Alright, no worries.
Okay, so we're going to roll from this one. We're going to go into C22, the classic, but then we're going to roll all the way through. So it's a good Chapter 2 preview, as it were. I'll mute myself as well, so you can't hear me breathing.
Open for business. Bullet shot. Move up.
Right, I've just been informed. Thank you, Trivy. The whole time I was streaming bloody gameplay and fucking OBS wasn't changed. Oh my god, you can tell we don't stream often. Let's do this again. Oh my god. Here we go. Out of 10.
Open for business.
boy, they're kicking my ass tonight. Whew. Right. So this is C2. 3.
Every time we rotate the guards, we think of our watches. By the time they come back, we're out of the thing. Whatever it is, you advance.
Shot. Wow, I haven't seen one of these in a long time.
I just noticed there's no bullets in that clip.
Falling on me.
I love how the roller mines followed us. think it's hilarious that this Rollermine's coming with me. Oh, Jesus Christ. Dead! Oh, crap. You guys, like... Okay. Oh man, you know how crap I am at trip mines. Remember what happened earlier? Oh shit. Oh, that was bloody close. Oh crap. Oh shit. I'll take that. I don't have any slams on me. Damn. Oh, this is a new change, and I haven't actually played it with this change before, so this will be fun. I'm in here. I'm doing it with no help. Yep, here we go, here we go.
Excavator package deployed.
There they are. Oh, damn it. There's always one that gets me. Just got this one dude left.
I'm taking point.
Get out of it. I think I will leave it there, because any further I'd risk spoiling things. So I'm gonna park it right there. I hope that you enjoyed that. Really sorry that we couldn't get the bloody stream to actually stream the gameplay at first, but we got there in the end, and we had some gameplay.
It's still happening.
I'm back.
Oh, okay.
Welcome.
Oh,
Thanks for the tip there. I could have sworn I
you can
pushed the
see we were
button.
spamming you in Discord. It's like, quick, ping him. It's like, oh, I'll message him on Steam. He's not flying on Steam. Do it anyway. And I was like, oh, I have him on WhatsApp. I'll ring him on WhatsApp. Surely he'll pick up his phone.
Yeah, it's because I've got streamer mode on, so like everything is like locked down, and I'm sure I pushed the button in OBS, but whatever, it didn't work.
oh no, he has the AirPods.
Yeah, I had the AirPods. I had the AirPods. Oh dear. But there we go. Yeah, that was fun. Really good. I did decide I thought I would stop just before.
Even the just the panic of like realizing that your screen was hidden, like that alone was I was trying to get OBS out to just record that, like
just that minute where we bloody
and none of this would have happened if we were all like, if you hadn't deafened yourself.
I know. I was saying that. I was thinking that to myself. I was
and
like, oh god damn it, so typical.
And I didn't even want to do the commentary thing. I still wanted to be deafened, and now I'm regretting that. But
While you were playing, we talked a little bit about the gameplay, and there were some interesting things going on in your playthrough there. That's the first time I've seen someone take a roller mine into that map after we added the sniper.
Yeah.
So the sniper was targeting the roller mine, and the roller mine took a bunch of bullets for your squad, which let your squad get past.
Yeah.
I've never seen that happen before. That was really neat.
Me neither. That was cool. No, I've never had a roller mine follow me that far, and it was following me as well, which I thought was awesome.
yeah, and
The
not
other
to
thing
mention the fact.
go ahead.
I was just going to say, not to mention the fact that it actually follows your command point orders too. Remember that?
I remember you saying about that actually. Now, yeah, that's super cool.
Yep.
I mean, it was so cool just to have a roller mine with me.
Yep, it's basically in your squad just like any other soldier. Some of the man hacks that they deploy, although you didn't have any which deployed man hacks.
Didn't get any, yeah, but that's really cool.
The other thing we were talking about is your squad was stranded, right? Because you didn't clear the way for them after you passed.
I ran.
But they were still trying to get to you. So when the fighting started, the rebels opened the first door that was blocking them. So they started running towards you to try to reinforce you.
I see.
But one of them got taken out by a barnacle. The other two ran past the barnacle. The second guy got hit by a slam that you didn't disarm earlier, and the slam took him out. But then the shotgunner survived and made it all the way back to you. So, like, while you were doing your thing at the top of the control center, they were doing all of that in the background in the game while that was happening. I just think that's really interesting,
really
how there
cool.
can be so much going on that you don't even see.
Like the map could be like tuned to make it so that happens more often if players don't free the way for their squad.
Well, I think it does already, right? Like we just sort of observed that.
I guess so.
I thought that was really cool. It was really good to sort of play that map again after basically being in Chapter 0 for like 3 months straight. And the other one as well that we played tonight.
It's been a while since I've seen any other chapter of Entropy 02.
Yeah. Yeah. At some point we'd probably owe it to ourselves to just play the whole thing through again, you know?
Meanwhile, I've just been doing Chapter 1 and 5 stuff.
But that's still, I'm looking forward to seeing those changes. I think tonight I didn't want to sit through the briefing and everything, But, right, let's do a Q&A, because after this we should have a brief chat about Sprint, stuff. So if we start the Q&A now, so if you've got any questions, there you go, look, Trevi's ready in the chat, oh my god.
Yeah, I know CW tends to post it, so I'm gonna fucking get it there before you.
You fucker! That was my job!
One job, I took your one job.
Looking at all my bloody messages now about that I'm not streaming the gameplay. Christ almighty.
Right,
We tried.
let's burn through these. Fucking hell, it's one of these questions. Dan Scott BG asks, when the game is complete, will there be a release date?
Well, I hope so. Well,
We'll just drop it one day in 2021, hopefully. No announcement, just here you go.
I think
Well, I will say that if we have a
answer- Go
I
ahead.
will say that I was just going to say that if we do have a proper release date, like if we do end up actually having a release date, it probably won't be something anytime soon. It would probably just be like around when we're done, not the kind of thing which would be delayed.
2021 is all we want to say, really. Not even like a quarter. We'll just say
Right.
2021. It's going to be
We've
2021 at some point.
I think we've made the mistake of estimating previously, and our
Yes.
estimates are always wrong.
Yes.
The frequently asked questions right now says Q1 or Q2.
Even
We,
that's generous.
I don't want to speak out of turn, but I think we can say with confidence it's not going to be Q1.
Yeah, definitely.
Um,
Definitely.
Q2 would be sketchy. So the question was, when the game is complete, will there be a release date? If complete means fully playable, that would be our first alpha. We passed that in July.
Yeah.
And no, the answer is no, there will not be a release date when the game is fully complete, because we don't know how long it will take to polish it to a state that's actually fun to play for the average player. And that's what we've been doing for the past, how many months
8
has
months
that been?
now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a long time. Yeah, I would agree with that. I think we're not going to do a release date until we're ready to push the button. Like, there are so many things that need to be in place before we even say, oh, let's do it on this day, And by that day, we need to be sure that not only are we happy and all the things are fixed, we also need to be in a position to pull the trigger, because we don't want to be setting up our Steam app ID on release day and the store on release day. It doesn't work like that.
Oh,
You know,
speaking of which, there's a lot of that's beyond your control. Like
absolutely.
we want to publish the game on Steam, but you can't just decide when it goes to Steam, right? Like that's through Valve. A lot of that is out of your control. You might not get to pick a release date in a certain sense. That I know there's a review process. I don't know much about Steam app IDs, so I could be way off there, but I just know that it could take you a while to actually get it published once you get the Steam apps ID set up.
That's right, yeah. There's like a period where you first create your app ID where you can't do anything and you kind of have to wait, and there's like an approval process then that you have to go through, and then you have to check all the boxes. Yeah. It's a long process, and it's going to be really hard for us basically until all of that is done to say this is the date it's going to be. Like, I think we will eventually one day be like, this is the date that we're going to release, but when we're at that stage, everything will be done. And we probably would have played it, and, do you know what I mean? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, the product will be completed, the Steam front will be completed, everything that we've had to do there will be confident, is what I'm trying to say, before we set a release date. So that answers that one.
Yep. Enderzilla asks, replayability?
Yes.
Oh, there's plenty of that. Take it from us.
There's a few ways that it is. So you've got Bad Cop's response system is entirely dynamic, so you will have a slightly different experience every time you play it, because it's a lot of this isn't scripted. It will just randomly fire offline. So you got that. You can decide to either take Willy with you or not, and that can drastically change your experience as well, within regards to lines and story that gets revealed as well. And also little parts of the map that you couldn't unlock otherwise without Willy. So
yeah, that's it. And I won't
also,
say anything else. I was going to say something and then I stopped myself. I won't. But yeah.
Not reveal that. But there's a bit of replayability. It's not going to be Hades level of replayability, which I spoke about before we came on screen.
Yes.
But yeah, it's a bit in there.
Okay, Jason Campbell asks, what gun did you guys give the biggest overhaul to for this mod, and if you gave any overhauls to the weapons at all? So I'm assuming out of the default weapons?
Yeah.
I'm thinking...
Go on. What do you reckon?
So I think out of the default weapons, I think the biggest model change we had to do was the AR2. Crowley kind of massive nightmare.
Oh, yes, yeah. I remember.
I feel kind of bad for him. But it was for a few functions that I wanted. And for the new weapons, the MP5K went through a lot of revisions as well, with all the new model changes and all the new animations I had to put in. That was the first weapon I've basically done for this.
Yeah, I think it was the AR2, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It's quite an invisible change. It's such a huge amount of work went into it just for players to not even notice it.
That.
You know?
That's literally what I was just thinking, Drew. I was like, players are just going to see it as the AR2. They're not going to know. Like, Kralik spent hours on that. Cyan did ages on it, you know?
Blood and tears that went into it.
Kralik had to rebuild that model. You know, he put so much work into it.
Yeah, for real. That's crazy.
It was such a mess. I feel a bit bad for him.
We did it, though.
So a bush carry on.
A bush in disguise asks, do hunters follow commands? No, they don't, but they follow the player. We could make it so that they follow commands like the silent commandables. We could even have unique lines for commanding hunters if it becomes that. But,
you'll get it, boy.
Yeah.
Second boy.
But right now we don't have that kind of level. It's just follow behavior.
No, because hunter just follows the player, doesn't he?
And Mark Zero asks, will the normal soldiers have any unique lines? Probably not, because we're just using Half-Life 2 lines for now. We haven't had any concrete things for anything more than that, I don't think.
I mean, every now and then they say things like 3650, don't they? But there's nothing like...
Yes.
Yeah, those are just chopped up from existing lines. Kenny Alexander asked, what?
Oh, I was just going to say about unique lines. They sort of do, right? They have new sentences, but they're not re-recorded. So it depends on what you mean by new lines. Because of the way soldiers use sentences in the original game, there's things that they say now that they didn't say before, but it is using the original audio files.
Yeah.
Some of them edited, but...
Yeah, it would stick out a lot if I tried to replicate Combine Soldier vocoder and give them custom lines. They'd stick out like a sore thumb, because nobody's been able to copy that like really well. So,
Yeah, I think it works well with the sentences, because they are Combine Soldiers still, yeah.
Kenny Alexander asks, how has map base helped with the development of Entropy 02?
Yeah, Brad, man, why don't you tell us?
Okay, so number one, projected textures have changed everything from our lighting perspective. Like everything that we do when we consider how we light scenes, we've got them on. Like you've got Wilson's got like a mini little projected texture, hasn't he? Like a textured lamp for his eyepiece, which is kind of cool. You've got the projected textures that we bake into maps themselves, which change the way that we light maps. You've got all of the NPC sort of stuff you can do, like health values, disarming. I can't talk about it because it's in the last chapter. What we did for I can't even say it. Like, there's just so much that MapBase has done. Like, I can't even. It's hard to quantify like one thing, you know.
Yeah, right. I can name a lot of things. It's like there's
of course you can.
Of course I can.
MapBase is the best thing ever.
Mm-hmm. I can name like almost every usage of MapBase throughout the game, from the Parallax Cartocube cube maps in Chapter 1 to
those look so much better. Like it's the kind of thing where you don't know what you're missing until you see it.
Yeah, regular cube maps look like total ass now.
Yeah, compared to
They didn't before. They never really bothered me, but once you see the parallax corrected, it just adds so much to the scene.
Why is the reflection moving? That's not real.
You've got some
Like,
Go on.
it's interesting to me that so many people, like, the first thing they talk about with map base is the projected texture fixes, and I understand that's a huge feature for a lot of mappers, but to me, I feel like that's not even the biggest thing that it does.
Yeah,
like
I know.
what I like about mapping with map base is I feel like the boundaries are always being pushed. We get used to sort of certain limitations that we have to abide by when we're mapping for source, because Half-Life 2 works a certain way and it's always worked that way and it always will. But then map base kind of opens the door for, well, now you can do this. Now you can do something that maybe wasn't allowed before.
Yeah.
I'll hold off on the examples for now. I don't want to get spoilery at all, but there's just things that I think, oh wow, now I can do something with that wasn't possible before.
Well, it's like that. It's like the entity replacement entity, which replaces an entity with another entity, which is like
right.
But
Yeah,
you can do
that's
like
anything.
entity.
Like you can do absolutely anything you want with that.
Mhm.
Just
In
that
the
one
end,
entity. It's crazy. Yeah.
yeah, and in chapter 1 on one of the security cameras, I've shown this on a stream before, so it's not a spoiler, and it's not that big of a deal. On a security camera, you could see a soldier throwing flares as if they're throwing grenades, and that's done through entity replace by replacing their grenades with
That's genius.
flares.
I didn't know that's how you did
And-
that. That's so cool.
Also, another big thing is that the rebels throwing grenades and using crossbows and stuff like that, which you've been seeing, that stuff is from map base.
Yeah, that's true. That was a map-based change, wasn't it? Because they use 357s as well, but only the females can use them
Oh yeah.
because they've got the animations. Yeah, it's hard to quantify one thing. There's so many different things. All the logical entities and stuff like that are awesome.
Technically, the dirty Nova Prospect soldiers came from map
That's
base
it.
too.
Yeah.
It's ironic because I originally made them for NHP0 because I was bored, but it was before I joined the NHP02 team. I was thinking that, like, maybe NHP02 could use this because I've heard that they have ruined Nova Prospect, and then I accidentally left it in map base, and after map base was after map base was merged, it's like, oh, those are in there now. I must have brought them in, but no, they were just in map base all along, and I forgot about them.
Yeah, I think it's done. Well, it's definitely defined EZ2. It's changed the way that the game is on a foundational level. I mean, there are things that we've done now that we wouldn't have been able to do if we didn't bring in map base. And that would have
Absolutely.
changed the writing. That would have changed our approach to the design of maps and stuff like that. So it totally wouldn't be the mod it is without map base. So, yeah.
There's a question, not to put anyone on the spot, but I think Scientia, you might be able to answer this better. Anything interesting with the crosshairs other than the new ones? And actually there's more to it. No ammo health display, no highlight on enemies. What does that mean?
Yeah,
I thought I understood the question, but now
Yeah,
I'm
I didn't
confused.
really understand the question. All
I think
can say
that
is,
I
he's
named
just
you
being.
because of the crosshairs.
I think he's being specific, like he's saying, is there anything like something cool done with the crosshairs other than just changing based on a weapon, like something fancy?
it's just a sprite sheet. I commissioned my graphic artist friend to create those for us. There's nothing really more interesting to them. They just differ from each weapon.
I think it adds a lot to have a unique one per weapon.
I agree.
It's the kind of feature that I didn't really know that I wanted until I saw it.
Yeah. Yeah. Same here.
It makes Entropy 02 feel like a different game, rather than seeing the Half-Life 2 crosshairs. And I think, remind me, do you have the what's it called, the sort of ammo meters around the edge of the crosshair? Do you have those turned off, Breadman?
I have them turned off, yeah. So,
Okay.
So I can appreciate the crosshairs, but I mean, you can toggle them on, can't we?
Right.
Yeah.
But I just mean it looks different from the Hazard suit. It's a different
Yeah, that's
character.
right. It's defined,
so you
isn't
kind of
it?
get into the mindset of it's the same universe, but it's a new experience, new character, new suit. You're a Combine Elite.
Absolutely.
You don't have the same heads-up display exactly.
The main motivator for me for the new crosshairs was one, I really hated like those tiny 4 dots.
Yeah.
Those are so hard to see sometimes. And then that quick thing with those little brackets, when I got those crosshairs in, I realized those are off center. So
Oh,
sorry if
really?
I ruined Half-Life 2 for you, but those are technically off center because the crosshairs
Really?
are center, but not those brackets. Yeah, that's
Oh,
why when you
that's
have those
terrible.
brackets
Weird.
on,
Oh no!
it's like slightly off to the side. It's awful.
I'll have to turn them on and look at that. Ah,
It
Valve,
ruined
what have
it.
you done?
I'm sorry if I ruined it for you.
Ah. Yeah, I just think it looks cool. I like how responsive the HUD is when you're changing your weapon and it changes. It's like, it's not so. It doesn't feel as static as it does in Half-Life 2. You know, yeah, it's very nice.
So Geo Picasso 25 asks, Overwatch voice lines is reused from the base game. Line seems unfamiliar. Cut content. And we were talking about this earlier. So most of the Overwatch lines are indeed from Half-Life 2, but I have recorded one because we figured that we needed one. But I actually do a little bit of a good Alan McLean impression.
Yes, you do.
I do my Overwatch lady voice impression over a radio filter, and it sounds I suppose it must be pretty convincing if you're sort of asking if it's
I think
content.
it's
But no, that
really
is me.
convincing.
That is me.
I think it's really
Sounds
good.
great.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, we'll have to see if there's any other. Because I was sort of thinking another place you could squeeze a custom line in is when he calls in the
What are we up to?
yo Q&A time.
Hey, buddy.
Oh, we're live? Oh, fuck, I'm
Yeah.
out.
Nice one. Nice one.
Sorry about that.
Alright,
No worries, it's fine. Best of luck.
No, wait. Why
Yeah,
did he?
wondering if he would do that this time. Just coming into the stream.
I love the one where he got his accordion. Anyway, carry on.
Yeah, so I'm thinking when he calls in the artillery drop in the cabin. At the moment, you have an Overwatch soldier responding, even though he's calling for Overwatch. So I'm thinking Overwatch could respond to him there as well.
Oh yeah, that's a great idea. Yeah, and do another Overwatch line for that.
Yeah.
So with these questions, are we jumping around? I'm just like, I've lost my place. I thought the next one. Are we just like picking questions we like, or are we trying to answer them in
I
order?
have no idea anymore. There is
I
no
lost
order.
my place.
There are a couple
anymore.
questions.
We probably should wrap up soon as well, if that's all right.
There are a couple questions that I'm worried are going to be left behind.
Let's get them.
There's one question. Breadman, do you want to answer questions about Chapter 0, or is that? I feel like you brought up in the stream, so we should kind of address
can
those.
kind of-
Because the next
yeah.
question
Yeah.
that I see is how much of EZ1 will be in Chapter 0?
A very, very small, tiny bit of EZ1 is in Chapter 0 at the minute. So
Like maybe, what is it, like 20 seconds?
it's like 20, 30 seconds, yeah. Of
So
entry
we're
to-
sort of debating on whether we should change that because it wasn't in. Because there's like dialogue in there that wasn't in EZ1, and it feels sort of weird to me.
We need to have a. We need
Have a
to
little
talk it out.
Yeah.
Yeah. But currently there's a small, tiny little slice of Entropy 01 in Chapter 0. It kind of, the whole idea of that chapter is to give context to the events of Bad Cops Past, and also
Tie it
show,
all in.
just sort of tie it all in. Yeah, exactly. And sort of from a chronological point of view, sort of show you where things are in relation, timelines and stuff like that, where Entropy 01 sits in relation to Entropy 02 and his past, etc. So, yeah. We'll probably show more of it when we're ready, I imagine. Yeah.
Did we answer the question about which weapon got the biggest overhaul? I think we answered that.
Yeah, I think Scion answered that.
When the game is complete, will the game be playable? I hope so.
I hope so.
Oh, no.
If you plugged Wilson into a monitor, could he run Doom? I think so.
I feel.
He
I've
probably
heard
He's a pacifist. Why would he have Doom installed on himself?
Exactly. He would hate it. He'd be like, what is this?
Someone recommended this game to me. Decided to check it out.
Will English be the only available language once it is out? The other languages later, or will it be out with more than one language? I think we're. I don't want to speak out of turn, but I think we're going to be relying on the community for translations again. Does that sound accurate?
Yeah, and we're going to have to launch with English only, just because it will take a long time to translate the game. It's just massive. I mean, if it's funny, the other day I was looking at Entropy 01's folder structure and comparing it to Entropy 02, just looking, And if you look at the two, it's like Entropy 01 is so small in comparison to Entropy 02. Like, it's tiny now. So all the lines, like we've got over 200 and something bad cop lines, will need to be translated, captioned, I don't know if anyone's going to actually record like a Russian bad cop, for example, or Spanish bad cop. Feel like Buzz from Toy Story.
So I'm just checking, Brad. There's about 700 plus lines in the bad cop.
Oh no!
Don't forget, this isn't just
700 lines. I thought it was 200 last time.
This is bad cop alone. There's other characters too, and like captions and HUD stuff.
So you've got Wilson, you've got Radio Guy, you've got captions for HUD, stuff. I mean, it's a huge mod. Like, it's massive.
Thankfully, we're using translation keys for like the instructor hints and HUD hints, so those can be translated.
Yeah.
There is some game text that I think is non-translatable at the moment, but we'll probably try to work something out for that.
Yeah. But the gist is, when we launch, it'll be English only, because, I mean, unless you want another year to wait whilst we do, like,
right,
2 languages or whatever, it's going to take ages. It's going to be one heck of an effort, I think. But we'll think about that.
Doing a dub would be a lot of work.
Wow, that would just be...
It is possible if someone wanted to make a mod that was a dub. You could even... We'll probably... Oh, I don't know. I don't want to assume this, but we'll probably publish our VCDs, right? So that you would even be able to change the timings of speech.
Yeah, we do
without
that through
affecting gameplay.
When we do like our...
Good luck with that.
But
yeah, that would be a ton of work. You could
a
change the pacing so other languages could have the characters deliver lines with different spacing in between, but it would be a monumental effort to actually do that.
Yeah, absolutely. And just translate. I mean, just looking at the closed caption file is massive now. Like, and just going through that. Oh my god. Like, yeah. So we'll definitely just be launching English, and then we'll look at that. I mean, that is a huge task, and it's something that we need to look at, really.
I mean, just knowing the sheer amount of recordings that I have done over the years, whoever decides to try and take up the mantle of doing a foreign bad cop dub, fucking good luck to you, man. It's going to take you like a year. I mean, obviously, because when we finish, all the lines will be written, so you could, in theory, do it quicker, but it would still take months, probably, for somebody to sit down and record all that dialogue in whatever language.
We've been at this years, literally years now, which is kind of crazy to think, but we have been doing it for a long time. It's going to take a long time. So, yeah, there's the answer on that one. English at release, other languages to come later.
How long did EZ1 take to publish on Steam?
So, from memory, it took about 4 weeks to be ready to push the green button. And I had to be quick because I had my idea of when I wanted to release the game, which was on episode 2's anniversary, and about a month before that I went onto Steam, and I had the approval process that I had to go through, and during that time my hands were tied, I couldn't do anything, and then I had to set up the storefront and do all of the paperwork bits that you had to do for Steam and all of that, and wait for them to be approved before I could actually push the green button. I cut it quite close. It took about 4 weeks, basically.
That's actually a lot faster than I was expecting, just 1 month.
Yeah.
But a month is still, quite a long time between, I want a Steam app versus actually publishing.
And I mean, at the time, I was thinking I'm not going to make the release date I wanted to, because I was thinking, it's not going to come back in time. But luckily it did, and then I could push the big button. But yeah, I definitely learned a lot during that time. I think we're going to need to do that before we say this is when it's going to be released. Like, we're not going to be able to say, we're going to write a date in stone, Because the worst thing would be that it's not approved for whatever reason, and then we have to fix something, or, So, yeah. So it took me about 4 weeks with Entropy 01.
Shall we end the Q&A there so we can actually have a little meeting to discuss things?
There's so many questions left unanswered. That's a lot of questions.
Should we do one more? One more question.
God,
I don't know which one.
Who has to be the person that decides what freaking last question?
I don't know. Oh
Yeah,
God.
it should be you, Breadman. It should be
me.
you. You are the host.
Let me see. No, I'm looking.
Is your question good enough to amuse the Breadman? We shall soon find out.
Find out next stream.
In another year.
I'm gonna post some just random questions that might be good as I
please
find
do.
them. That one's okay.
Oh yeah, I like that one. Yeah.
This one's okay. I haven't posted it yet. Let me keep looking. It's got to be a
Oh,
really.
yeah, I forgot about that one.
Just have it be a yes/no question.
What is in the Grand Secretariat position?
I don't know. I like. Oh God, there's another one. Oh, we should look at that guy. We should look him up.
No, we shouldn't.
No, because that means writing more lines. Oh God, we have over 9,000. Anyway.
No, we've got good
I
talent
think
already.
Yeah. I agree with that. I reckon the first one that you posted, 1UpD, because we can all answer that one. So, what is your favourite bad cop quip?
By Jason Campbell. Got to drop the names
By
in
Jason
there.
Campbell. Sorry, I don't do this. I'm just the OBS.
You don't give a
man.
shit about the people.
I'm just the director of the entire project. What do you expect?
Well, of course he doesn't give a shit about them. He writes a character who thinks they suck.
What's your favourite bad cop quip, guys? Go on, let's hear it.
I can't
Pick up
remember.
that can.
I like the one where he says.
That's a good one.
Yeah, the pickup. I like the one where he says, "I've got verdicts for all you idiots." Did we cut that one?
I don't think so.
I don't
think we
think
cut-
so.
No, I like that one.
It's chapter 2 specific.
I had a good experience with that line. Yeah.
I quite like. I mean, it's really simple. It's not really a quip, but it's like there's a little bit of tech that went into it. So I think it's if he's shot in the leg or if he like falls a great height, he can say, "Ah, my leg."
Oh yeah,
And
I know.
then
Yeah.
If it happens again, so if you fall again or you get shot in the leg again, he'll go, "Oh, my other leg."
Yeah.
But he will only actually say it if he said the previous line, which is why I love it so much.
I tell you what, I love the line as well when he's standing in the Zengu, and he's like, "I feel
that's
restored." It's
Oh, yeah.
yeah. It's just so good.
You found sense of murderous intent fuels me.
That one is fantastic. Like the delivery on that is just so good. Like I feel
That one might be my favorite. I'm trying to think.
Yeah.
I actually like a lot of his more serious lines when you hear them in gameplay. I feel like there's something about when the line hits at exactly the right moment. I just find that so satisfying.
Yeah.
But as far as funny lines go, it's got to be that one. The delivery is just so spot on.
I feel restored. A newfound sense of murderous intent fills me.
It's just great. It's brilliant. Yeah, there's some really good moments like with the delivery, and there's plenty I can think of that are more serious as well, like 1UpD was saying. There's some really good dialogue, which I won't spoil obviously, but in chapter 6, map 1 specifically, like I love the way that we handle the dialogue in that map, and I like it. It's like, it's serious, it's not funny, but the way that we do it, it's really good.
Drama.
Drama, yeah, that's it. It's like drama. It's like you're acting and you know.
Fucking yeah, that's right. I'm doing. Fucking I'm not just a comedy actor, guys. I can be serious.
You
too.
can be serious too.
Drama.
That chapter overall, I think the writing and the performance trivia, like, it just nails the dialogue so well.
Yeah.
You're talking about chapter 6, right?
Yeah, chapter 6 is just fantastic. Really well done. I feel like a bit arrogant saying that as we're the ones making it, but it is really genuinely well acted, and it just comes through really well in the game. The way we've made the dialogue in that chapter flow. I wish we could show it, but we can't. So...
Play it for yourself in 2021 at some fucking point.
Some point in time when we finish this game. Okay, I think we should wrap stream here because...
Yep. I'm gonna grab another drink and a mince pie before we start the meeting.
That sounds good. I might grab some Christmas cake. I hope that you've all enjoyed it. Sorry for all the technical difficulties. Like, streaming gameplay with screenshot overlay, that was good fun. Like doing that. Do that again sometime. And, whatever. What else did I screw up?
Conversation on the stream, because I just had it muted when I rung you. I'm like, oh man, are they gonna hear me ringing you and you being like, hello?
I just went hello. And I was like, I knew something was up when I saw my phone ringing. I was like, oh, for God's sake. What have I done now? Right, anyway, thanks for coming, everyone. I don't know when we're going to stream again. Like, we will. It sounded really, like, final there. I don't know when we're going to stream again. Honestly, I don't know when it will be, but we will do. Probably in the next couple of months. I mean...
There's going to be more media storms, I imagine.
There's going to be more media storms, yeah.
Yeah.
We've got so much work to do going forward. Like, I have multiple lists, like bugs. We've got a huge list of bugs. We've got all of the extra narrative stuff that we need to just fix, you know. But, yeah. So it'll be a little while, I think, before we stream again. But, yeah. Thanks for coming, guys.
You've all had a good holiday.
Yeah, I hope it's been good, and I hope you're all staying safe and well, you know. It's a bit mental at the minute, isn't it? So, but yeah, okie dokie. Thanks very much for coming, guys, and thanks for your support. And we hope to stream again next year sometime. I'll let you know. In the meantime, look out for media storms and tweets and all that kind of thing. Bye!
Bye!
See yous.
Bye, guys.
Happy New Year.
Oh yeah, Happy New Year. Yeah, that one
Happy
too.
New Year.
Yep. Have a good one.